So, Malcolm, you have a new buy. Maybe it plays right into what you're talking about sticking with tech names. Chips have been a question mark, not so much in the last few days. Some haven't traded all that well of late. You bought ASML. You want to take me inside that trade and why you decided to add that name, which is only up 1.5% over the past 3 months. And if you compare that to some of the other names that are up a tremendous amount, I mean, it lags so dramatically, it's not even funny. It sticks out like a sore thumb.
I think you just made the case for why you'd want to buy it. As the disciplined investor I like to tell myself that I am, I want to buy into weakness. I don't want to buy necessarily at moments of significant strength. And so what I'm looking at ASML, it's equally as important in the conversation we're having around AI as names like NVIDIA, Taiwan Semi, right? NVIDIA sells chips to about 80% of the global market right now for all things related to AI. Taiwan Semi is their biggest customer, and Taiwan Semi is dependent on ASML. So ASML has had a China problem for some time. They've been talking about it on earnings calls, but they've got a 50+% profit margin over that same period. And I think we're at a place now where we can start to look at them turning the corner, because the AI conversation has shifted now from being on laptops and PCs to now going mobile. Well, what does that mean? It means they're going to need to refresh that equipment, they being the actual foundries that are making these chips. They're going to need to refresh the equipment, buy new equipment that they use to get smaller and smaller nanometer chips into their sets. That's going to all benefit ASML.
You like the chip equipment names because you just added a couple to the Joe T. KLA and Lam were also added to Bank of America's global contenders list. Those are the two names that you just added in your rebalance. What do you think of this move? Do you like it?
So I do, because what I see in the semiconductor industry is, number one, I see tariff relief. Number two, I see the potential for clarity surrounding the restrictions with China, although in the case of AMD today, that is why the stock is clearly down, because the MI 308, they were unable to include that revenue in the upcoming quarter. Street obviously didn't like that. But you're talking about an industry where you're not going to get the type of earnings growth that's being exhibited anywhere else. You're talking about 30% earnings growth from the semis, and the semis once again are coming back. I think ASML will participate. I know Steve has a Taiwan Semi, which has done remarkably well, and at some point here, as we move through the third quarter, you're going to hear from Broadcom, which has been the sleeping giant amongst all these semiconductor names. So I think the momentum is building for semis, and I think that'll continue through the remainder of the year.
All right.